Hi everybody, it's Chartsky here on September the 13th, 2018. And we finally got the news that was on schedule that moved the markets. At about 7 o'clock in the morning, we had a lot of news out of Great Britain. Then at 8:30, we had the European Central Bank do their little dog and pony show. And the CPI and the core CPI numbers were released for the U.S. And we got a lot of market movement, just like we expected we would, like we've been talking about all week. So let's see what we were doing right before the open. It's just a trick, same thing we always do, the top-down analysis, where we look at the markets, we establish a game plan, and let's focus on these top two. The stock indexes, clearly in an uptrend, and that's what the arrows mean. They had shot up pretty good. Again, we had a lot of news, and so what our game plan was hoping for is a pullback so we could buy off retracement. That's what we were looking for, number one. In the stock indexes, a pullback and a buy off a retracement. Now down here in the EuroFX, it had shot up and then kind of fizzled. Gold had followed it, but it had kind of fizzled, so we were focused on getting buys in the stock indexes. We knew they were going to go up more, we just didn't know how much, and I raised that with everybody because they've moved up pretty good. So how much farther did they have before they became a little bit too dangerous, a little unstable? Well, here we go at 9:30. The NASDAQ, boy, it went sharply up. The S&P tried, and then it kind of whipped back. Not nearly as decisive as the NASDAQ, but what you'll notice is that there was no pullback right away so we could buy like we wanted to off of support. But that's okay. A lot of times we don't get an entry on the first candle. We're patient and we'll wait. And here you can see on the second 5-minute candle, price just kept going up. So up, up, up. In the stock indexes, that is. Down here it's just kind of dinking, and gold is not doing too much. Third 5-minute candle's more the same, up, up, up in the NASDAQ, and the S&P looks like it may be getting some legs under it and trying to go up. Again, in the euro, if it had pulled back, we would have bought off of support down in here, and maybe probably the same for gold. This crude oil is kind of messy. You could have traded the SR levels, but again, not something that I do in the live trading room. And also, as far as taking buys, we do not take breakouts for the most part in the trading room. You can trade those kind of moves, but it's not something that I prefer to do for the live trading room members. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but first, we finally got a little bit of a hint of a pullback in the NASDAQ. Not so much over here in the S&P, it's just kind of whipping around at the highs, but a little bit of a hint of a pullback in the NASDAQ here. And so that encouraged me to sell. We couldn't get the move up, so we're looking to get a little bit of a retracement on the way back down, and we sold the NASDAQ. But it was a counter trend trade, and counter trend trades are on short leash with me in the first place, so it was a scratch trade. Anybody that's watched any videos knows that the BE means break even, the CO means it was a closeout or a scratch trade. So our first trade in the NASDAQ this morning was a scratch. And then you can see that it did pull back down. Okay, so we were right. We didn't stay in the trade because it was whipping an awful lot up there. But it did pull back like we expected it to, like the reason we entered the trade. And don't think it was the only trade that we had tried. We had already missed 2 good buys in the NASDAQ. Again, we do not usually enter on breakouts. We enter differently than maybe you've ever seen, but we want fills the way we try and get them, and generally it turns out okay. But we had already missed 2 good buys there in the NASDAQ and 1 good buy over here in the S&P. But it's important to know that we do not chase price. If we don't get filled, we're just going to let the trade go, waiting for the next trade that might come along. Speaking of which, we got it in the NASDAQ. Price tried to turn back up, and so we were buyers, okay? This may have been the pullback and the buy that we've been looking for, okay? But it had a first little leg to it. So sometimes these things aren't as clear-cut as you might think, or you might want. But notice over here in the S&P, okay, there had not been a pullback yet, okay? I didn't like the S&P very much. Wasn't looking at a buy in the S&P unless it pulled back for us to get in, which it didn't do yet. And yes, I am picky about our entries, and I'm picky about market structure and price action and how it acts. We were talking about the SR levels over in crude oil, and sometimes they work to the tick. Look over here in gold at this crude oil, at the SR level in gold. This is the report. Price hit it and stopped and came all the way back, okay? But sometimes these markets are not, well, conducive to good trades like that. And here you had price that should have bounced off and turned up in gold, and it went right through it, okay? So based on the price action, sometimes we can avoid losers. We did get the turn up on the buy here, so I thought we were doing okay over in the NASDAQ. But it sure showed me slamming back down right here. So now we've got a push up, a pullback, a turn, a lower high, and turn down. So we're going to have to maybe reevaluate the game plan. Price action might be telling us that the top is getting close. And you'll notice over here we were talking about waiting on a pullback in the S&P. This is just too strong and hard and violent of a push up and bam, pulling back like that. We didn't want any part of that. So we weren't even thinking about buying the S&P here, given the market structure, the price action, and what this NASDAQ over here is doing. But we did think about selling the NASDAQ. Remember, push up, pull back, lower high. Maybe this is what we're getting right here. So we sold the NASDAQ over here, looking for maybe a continuation down a little bit. And it came down, but then it hesitated and whipped back. So here was our trade that came down and whipped back, knocked us out for break even. BE for break even, T for trail. So the trailing stop got hit on that one, and we got knocked out at break even trail. Still trying to get price to tip its hand. And I thought I had it with the buy here. Price had moved up, came down, put in a lower high, tried to go down and got rejected. A bunch of buyers came into the market. So since the trend is up, we thought we'd buy it then again. And you can see the price action over here in the S&P, not very good at all. It spiked down and then it was kind of whipping. So you can trade that kind of price action. Again, it's not something that I'd like. The SR levels it's not something that I tend to do in the live trading room. You see there was a good trade. If you trade the SR levels, when price came down through it in gold, it came back right up there, hit it, and turned down right here. Hit the SR level and it held. Price turned down, but again, it's not something that I usually do in the live trading room. And then you'll notice here in gold that price was kind of hanging on that SR level. It finally broke through to the downside. And here we get a little turn up in the NASDAQ. You get a little pretty sad little inside bar over here in the S&P. So I thought, well, maybe we'd caught it right here. Maybe this buy is going to it just be a kind of a complex reversal. Pull down, retrace, and now head on up there and go higher like it well, we thought it should. And once again, the market showed me it started to turn up and it slammed down. So we got a one tick trailing out of that. But look at this S&P. It has shot up. It's whipped at the highs. It's spiked down. It's whipped, and it's spiking again. That's not a market that we really want to jump in and participate in. A lot of whip, almost hysterical whip after the 9:30 open in the NASDAQ. Very, very dangerous. We tried to buy, we tried to sell. That brings us to where I pick up now in the live trading room, September 13th today. Very aggressive. 34 is the buy for 80 ticks. Had on 29. Very aggressive. I keep telling you, we're flirting with disaster. All these break evens that we can't get anything on. $80 ticks will be the target if we can get a fill here at 34 and hold it. But they're trying to push down. The only reason we're going to do this is because there's an awful lot of support down here in both the S&P and the NASDAQ. $80 ticks if we can get a fill and hold it at 75.34. Got front run right there a little bit. All right, we're in at 34. And then let's see if we'll get a bounce from here. I really don't want this add-on filled in a fast market like this. Come on, turn up a little bit. 80 ticks is the target. Well, that was a good bounce right there. We may have caught it finally. Let's go to break even. We'll take the add-on off. And now let's see if we can get 80 ticks off a bounce. +1, making it a free trade. 80 ticks. If it'll bounce. Very doable. Everybody should be in this one. There was plenty of time after we got knocked out of the last one to put the order in lower, like we talked about. $80 ticks. Will again be double the daily profit target in a single trade, wouldn't it? So the daily profit target plus. Very doable. Actually could give more than 80 ticks, but again, pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. On a day like this, I will be more than happy for us to take 80 ticks. Well, I thought we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 prior trades in the NASDAQ. Every single one of them, I thought we had it. Knock on wood. Let's see if this one will reach up there and give us the 80. We've done our part. We've gotten a, well, we've done our part on every trade. We've gotten really good entries like this one, almost to the tick. We've tried to manage them well, manage them wisely, and now we just need price to follow through one time. Structure was saying down, and boy, I really thought we had a big old trade right there, and we get whipped out. So let's see if we can hang on to this one, or if this one's going to whip us out. Even if the trend is turning to down, we've still maybe caught the retracement. It's closed in on 11 o'clock. This may be our last try. But the markets are kind of fast, so just been nothing much in the S&P. It's been whipping and then spiking, and whipping and then spiking. The NASDAQ is moving better, but it's not followed through yet. Maybe this time, fifth time is the charm. Let's see. We're looking for 80 ticks. All that up here at 75.54. Come on. It's trying to go. This has been a very, very dangerous day. Very fast markets in the NASDAQ. We've tried to navigate it as best we could. Come on, NASDAQ, just a little bit more to go. Does everybody understand that even if this market is going to continue down, pushed up, down, failed, and come down, we're trying to catch the retracement before it comes down even further. That's what this trade is. We caught the turn almost perfectly right here, and now all the market has to do is turn up just a little bit to right here. May not have it in it. But we can only do what we can do. The rest is kind of up to price. It hadn't really retraced very much since it started down, so there's not been really places to sell. It sure looks like it wants to come and whip us out again. Let's see if that was the head fake down for the week longs. Got down to about 40, maybe just a little bit through, which is an old intermediate level. So the weak ones that went in at 40 just got washed out. We already traded that level. We went down a little bit. So we're still at bat. Man alive, this one's not one that I would extend. Just is not retracing. Spike and whip. Come on, NASDAQ, make you a little push up there. It might be tight to get the 80 ticks, but I think we can get them. And then if this thing's done a deep retracement, turns up, it'd be a lot more than 80 ticks, but as tough as this morning's been for us to catch a winner, we're just going to take the 80. We're going to take the 80 and be happy to get it. Look, see how easy it's coming back down? Just whip, whip, whip. Okay? Just whip, whip, whip. It's made us wait. It's made us trade through 4 other good trades. I would not, at this point, consider taking less than 80. If it gets up there and gets close to us, something could change. Wait a minute. Kyle's got news. President Trump tweeted something. Yeah, well, I agree with it. Thanks, Kyle. I've been telling y'all China has a whole lot more to lose. They need us way more than we need them. And the president's right. The corporations kind of, and the banksters throw a little temporary temper fits. But President Trump is right. Our markets are moving up. China's are moving down. Thanks, Kyle. That's they may be spooked, and that's what it is. They may have to reevaluate. And this move has been a big move to the upside. Now gold is coming down. It's been working its way down. Now it's coming down pretty good. All right, here we go, NASDAQ. Make a run up here. Looking for 80 ticks for everybody. Pull back, push up. Should get up to 55, 56 anyhow. That'll be through us. But we got to watch it. That was the first real push up. I'm not ready to do anything yet. Don't panic. We know where it should be going. If it doesn't get there, that changes things. This thing gets up there and hits 80 ticks, you're going to be very proud of yourself for being patient and holding it. Got up to about 53. That's not good enough. It'll get higher than that. Well, it should. Let me put it that way. Knock on wood. It should get higher than 53. If it can't get higher than 53, well, it's coming down. This is the first decent retracement in the downtrend that could have been tradable, but there's so much support, just support underneath, that I don't want to sell into that. Oh, what a shame. We really can't extend this. Man, it may just be weak. Look at this. Coming up on 11 o'clock. Here comes the NASDAQ back. I'm telling you, it should do better than 53. Hope those aren't famous last words. Came up pretty easy that time. All right, 40 ticks is at 44. If you're on conservative plan, if it comes back under 44 this time, you could lower your target. I am not going to do it. I believe it's going to get up here and do better than 53, but I'm just telling you that if you're more conservative, you want to take the full daily profit target, which is 40 ticks. I'm going to hold on, but you only do it if it comes under 44 again. I think it's going to get up through our 80 tick target, but stick to your plan. If your plan is conservative and price comes back under 44, just like if our entry was at 44, you'd be scratching. You'd be getting out on a target at 44 for the full daily profit target. But let me be clear, I am not doing it. Let's get down there close, and the computers are front running 44. That was a slice through, but you wouldn't be wrong right now if you're conservative to take the 40 ticks off at 44. But I'm just being clear, I'm not doing it. Let me know who might have done it, and there's nothing wrong with it. Just stick to your plan. I want to keep track of who's on what plan. Let's see. Well, we've had to hold this thing an awfully long time. Doesn't look like anybody got out at 44. Looks like everybody's holding it for 80 ticks. And that's okay. Just stick to your plan and be consistent. I just throw these things out there because I want to help you. All right, we're back up, and it did do better than 53. It should get up to 55, 56. They're getting some pressure up here. And there we're through, so everybody got the 80 ticks. We had to wait for it. But another big old NASDAQ winner. Another daily profit target plus. And we've had great days this week, daily profit target or daily profit target plus, or even an add-on day. So we're going to reward ourselves and take tomorrow off. We'll see if there's any questions. If there are, we'll deal with them. Otherwise, we're going to enjoy the lifestyle. Okay, there you go. Very dangerous market conditions continue today, including some pretty hysterical whip after the 9:30 open, but we got double the daily profit target in a single trade. Yeah, we could have gotten a little more, but like people hear me say all the time, pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. The markets had been whipping all morning, so we wanted to take what was available, take what the market wanted to give, and that was a nice 80 tick trade there in the NASDAQ. And we're taking tomorrow off. We're enjoying the lifestyle, and we're going to reward ourselves with another long weekend. So combining this video with all the others I put up, you've got every single trading day that we've traded in the month of September, an extended basically 2-week trial that you're able to enjoy at your leisure. Okay, we're in the home stretch, but there's still a few things that I think are important, so here we go, and especially important if your results didn't match what we got today in the live trading room. Here's the CFTC disclaimer. It by itself is very important. I urge you to pause and read it, and if you're interested in learning more, or if you just want more information about what it is we do every day and how my live trading room is very different, you can visit my blog at www.chartsky.com. You know, if your results weren't quite like what I call from members of the live trading room today, you could be trading with us as soon as tomorrow. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe you're struggling with a combine, or maybe you just want a second set of eyes on the charts. There's still plenty of time to salvage what's left of this year and get a jump on next year. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, and there's always more than one way to take advantage of what I offer members of the live trading room. Again, you can join us as soon as tomorrow, but the first step is to go to my blog at www.chartsky.com and visit the live trading room page. Well, maybe you have questions about this video or any of the other videos, questions about any of the trades or anything I might have said. Maybe questions about your own situation. Believe me, I get all kinds of questions. I don't mind them at all. Maybe you've got questions about whether there's still even room for you in the live trading room. If you've got any questions, feel free to send them to me at chartskytrades@gmail.com. Again, I don't mind questions. I get them all the time. I try and answer questions within 24 hours or less. I guess that's all for now. As always, thanks for watching.
Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.